victim of domestic violence when I was young. I witnessed it, I went through it, I survived it.
Amen.
But I accepted Christ into my life since I was 7 years old, and He was the one that gave me the strength. At 9 years old, I was taking the bus just to go to church because that was my safe haven. And as I got older, I met people, got into a relationship with someone that was physically abusive to me. My nose was broken, my skull was fractured when my daughter was 9 months. When I was pregnant, I pushed it against the wall. And I'm not here to down the person because he was a victim of domestic violence himself. He was abused as a child. My daughter was a result of that relationship. When she turned 1, I left because I didn't want her to grow up seeing what I grew up seeing. So we'll go down the road. My daughter's grown up, she gets married. She ends up being in a relationship where there was domestic violence for about 12 years. She has three children, my grandson Isaac, who is 13, Leanna, who is 11, and Andrew, who is 8. She moved out of the state to get her husband into a better place, away from what he grew up. He was also a victim from a very young age. But through that, going through it with them, I had to go out to the state where they were at, so Children's Services wouldn't take the kids. But I believe she had a lot of fear, kept taking them back. But she also wanted to keep her family together, not realizing the pain and the effect that it was having on the children.
Yes.
So I got called again. They said, "Do you want to get all 3 children?" I said, "Yes, I do." At the time, my father was battling cancer. He was very stubborn, didn't want to go to the hospital. He said, "You're going to take care of me," because I've taken care of a lot of people that were ill. Not a nurse, it's just a spiritual gift that God has given me, and I'm thankful to God for that. I was scared. I didn't know how I was going to take care of 3 children, my father and my son, who at the time was a teenager. But He gave me the power, He gave me the strength to go through what I needed to, and we went through it and got through it.
Amen.
My daughter came home about 5 months after they were with me. Thank you, Jesus, answered prayer, lighting candles at night in my bedroom, praying, and finally I said, "Lord, I can't deal with this anymore. I leave it in your hands." I left it in His hands. The next day they called me that my grandkids were coming home to me, and my daughter would be coming home 6 months later. So that was just by the power of God and letting go and letting God do what He needed to do instead of me trying to do it all on my own. A lot of scriptures and a lot of words that they've given today, I've been praying and writing things in my book, and I have my little book there with all the scriptures that they said. But God is the only way. He's the only one that is going to deliver you. I always felt like I was a prisoner trapped within inside a prison. And anybody that's going through that at this time, stand up, arise, and conquer. Because God did not call you to a life of abuse. He did not call you to a life of being physically abused and passing it on to your seeds. I have always called my children my seeds, which was a joke, but I'm a seed of God, and I'm going to go forward and do what God has called me to do to make those flowers sprout up in a proper way according to God's will.
Amen. Amen.
So I am so honored and privileged to be here to speak to all of you and anybody that's going through it. I know they mentioned about women. A lot of women are abused, so are men. But in that process, so are the children.
Yes.
And I'm here proud to say, we came from Montebello, California. My daughter in her car with her kids, me and my son in my car, driving, and I'm crying, thanking Jesus that my kids and my grandchildren are all with me. They're safe, they're alive, and they're no longer being abused.
Hallelujah.
So I give honor